Sir Alice Phillips in Egypt, my Holy Family Tour experience. 10 days following the sacred path. Day 8, Tuna El Gabal, Al Ashmunian, Hermopolis, Asyut. We left El Minya early after a hearty breakfast, and as our van rolled out of the hotel parking lot, I felt that tingly anticipation. Today was going to be full of ancient mystery. Our first stop, Tuna El Gabal, a necropolis so rich in symbolism it made my heart race. I walked beneath the crisp morning sky, stepping past the crypts of baboons and ibis, sacred animals of the god Thoth. The stillness here was surreal, broken only by the crunch of sand underfoot. Inside the tomb of Isidora, a young woman's tragic story seemed to echo through the stone corridors, while the tomb of the priest Pet Osiris was like walking through a museum carved from rock. A short stroll brought us to the ancient water wheel, silent now but once pulsing with life. Then came the boundary stela of the city of Aten, an echo of Akhenaten's bold, monotheistic experiment. I imagined the whispers of ancient prayers carried by desert wind. By midday, we reached Al Ashmuni in Hermopolis. There, among colossal baboon statues, I was awed by how the ancients blended art with worship. The ruins of the Basilica Church, flanked by rose granite columns, added a haunting layer of Christian history over Egypt's pharaonic foundations. Late in the afternoon, we drove south to Asyut and visited the sacred Muharraq Monastery, the place where the Holy Family spent the longest part of their Egyptian journey, 6 months and 10 days. The air here felt charged with a solemn calm. This is where they received the divine message to return to Palestine. I stood quietly, letting the gravity of the moment soak into me. After a delicious local lunch and check-in at the hotel, I ended the day with dinner and a deep sense of wonder. Summary of the day: the layered history of Hermopolis and the spiritual hush of Al-Muharraq Monastery felt like I was walking alongside the Holy Family through time. Day 9, Asyut returned to Cairo. Waking up in Asyut felt different. Maybe it was the history, maybe it was the monastery's afterglow, but something lingered in the air. After breakfast, we headed once again to Al-Muharraq Monastery. Visiting it a second time deepened the experience. I noticed details I missed before, like the worn stone steps, the faint scent of incense, and the hushed reverence of the few monks who passed by. Then we drove about 8 kilometers west to see the rock-cut tombs of Miyar, tombs dating back to the 6th and 12th dynasties. These tombs, carved directly into limestone cliffs, were visually stunning. Scenes of daily life, hieroglyphic inscriptions, and remnants of ancient paint whispered secrets from thousands of years ago. I remember standing inside one of the chambers, feeling the coolness of the stone, imagining noblemen being buried here under a canopy of stars. By evening, we were back in Cairo. Dinner felt comforting, familiar even, and I was happy to sleep in a soft bed again in the capital. Summary of the day: today's contrast between spiritual peace and ancient grandeur left my soul full and my camera roll even fuller. Day 10. Farewell, Egypt. My last sunrise in Cairo painted the sky in soft orange hues. I stood by the window of my hotel room, sipping one last cup of Egyptian coffee, watching the city stretch into life. After breakfast, It was time to say goodbye. My bags were packed, my heart was heavier than I expected, and my mind was bursting with memories. Pyramids and monasteries, quiet prayers and bustling streets. The airport ride felt like closing the final page of a well-worn book. But oh, what a story it was! Summary of the day. I came for the Holy Family's path, but I left with a piece of Egypt etched into my soul.